Good evening and welcome to Coach B's Gold Nuggets with Power Lead System. And I'm excited tonight because I've got a really great guy on with me. This is Coach B and Willie G. Willie G, you there?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, Willie, it's always good to see you. I tell you what, you know what I love about you, Willie?
What's that?
Well, you've got this approach where you're doing exactly what I'm asking people to do, which is give CPR every day to your business. And CPR means consistency produces results. And that's what you've been working on since you came into Power Lead System, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
Well, I want to let everybody know here just a little bit about myself in a moment, but I really want to come back to you, Willie, because you know what I say about you, all of us, we're like the gurus of all gurus. There's that one. We've got Willie with the other site up because he's going to be managing some of those comments down there. So that's what happens. It delays and then it starts up. So, Willie, we're like big gurus. Me and you, we're just like the gurus of all gurus. And so, you know what I tell people that is?
What is a guru? Because I don't feel like a guru.
Hey, you know why? It's because guru really means G-U-R-U. See, that's what a real guru is. Most of us go around and we're kind of like waiting for somebody to tell us who we are. All these people out there acting like big gurus, and everything. And you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. The best thing any of us can do, Willie, is just be who we are. Because when I'm who I am and you're who you are, we bring our best selves to the table. We're passionate about what we're doing. We're excited. And we don't have to try to be somebody else because, invariably when I try, I don't mean I don't want to be supported by other people. I absolutely do. That's why we've got this great community in Power Lead System. But when we start trying to be exactly like somebody else, it just sucks the energy right out of us. And I'm going to go on, I'm just going to go on record right here and now and say, I don't care how old you are, you can brand yourself. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, anybody at any age is going to have something to offer. And we're going to go over that in a minute because we're here tonight to talk about how to actually utilize Google Hangouts and crank up your SEO. Now, this isn't going to be a total hangout about how to run Google Hangouts, although I'm going to show you some things along those lines. I've got plenty of recordings and I'll direct you to those. But it's really going to be about establishing the value of doing Hangouts and what the platform can do for you. But Willie, let's just come back to you for a moment. I mean, my goodness, Google Hangouts, that's how you found me, right? Am I right or right?
That's exactly right. First of all, I'm going to go back to touch base on something. I think you're so correct in what you said. You have to be yourself. If you're not yourself, then people will see through that. You're not genuine. But yes, like I told you earlier, I told you my story, it took months for me to actually get in contact with you. I thought, oh no, she's a guru. It's going to take me time to go through all the red tape to get in, just to say hi. So I sent an email or two over about 2 months, 3 months, and I couldn't get in contact with you. And then this last time, about 2 weeks ago, something like that, I finally got in contact with you. I sent you an email, and it shocked me because you responded immediately, and I didn't know what to do. I was so excited.
The funny part about that, and I've asked Willie to share this, and really the lesson behind this is to stick with something and just stay with it till you contact somebody. What we kind of drilled it down to was I had changed servers, and my Coach B at Dottie Berry, that particular website was forwarding, okay? And for some reason, unbeknownst to me, not everybody's email was getting forwarded to me. Some would and some wouldn't, and so I didn't know. So I think Willie got sucked up in that jungle. But I just tell you right now, know this about me. If you contact me, whether by email or rather by phone, you will hear from me in 24 hours. And if you don't, then you need to know that I didn't get the message. Because what happened is when Willie finally got me, the email came in, and I immediately saw him, picked up the phone and called him, and he about fell over, but I didn't know he had been trying to reach me, you see. So, Willie, you're just a great example of what it takes to persevere and stick with something. So congrats to you.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for responding.
Uh,
And I've learned so much already, and I know this path is going to be interesting. You're definitely a person that I can admire, and someone that's really taught me a lot already. So thank you. That's all I'm saying is thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, Willie. Well, before we get started here on Hangouts and SEO and all this kind of thing, you may be wondering, well, who are you? We've opened up these trainings to all of the Power Lead System community. We're excited that you're here. And, well, my name's Dottie Berry, a.k.a. Coach B and the Google Hangout Maven. So, you know, my experience goes back 30-something. I put 30-plus years when Neil asked me, because I didn't want to have to say exactly, but it's over 30 for being an entrepreneur. And I used to coach women's basketball at the University of Kentucky years ago. And I tell people I just ride a different vehicle now. I'm still coaching. I've never stopped. And got into internet marketing about 6 years ago. So it's been a lot of fun, but I'm going to be real honest with you, Willie. It's been quite a journey. I tell Willie one of the things that you have to be willing to do to learn this is cry at your computer. Yeah, because, you know, so many of the times I feel like if you're going to learn this, you are going to feel overwhelmed at times. I mean, there's no two ways about it, and that's okay. But, you know, really it's just kind of sticking with things, because if you stick with it long enough, you're going to get through it. So we're going to go right into some things tonight and talk a little bit about Google Hangouts, what it means, how you get to SEO, how you get ranked in your niche and things like that. Again, one of the most important things, I think, is to position why this is important, because if you don't see how this could work for you, personally, I don't think you're going to do it. So, Willie, first of all, I'm going to start off with a question. I'd like for anybody watching this right now, and of course we're live right now, I want you to put in the box down there in the comments section. I'm going to ask you this question. Now, think hard about it. But how many of you have watched a YouTube video in the last week? Okay, now, Willie, I want you to go over there and just look and see if anybody's putting in there that they have actually looked at a YouTube video over the last week. Do you see anybody saying yes, they have?
Hold on, I'm checking right now.
Okay, he's going over to the page and he's going to check. So one of the things I want to say is this. If you're watching this live right now and you didn't put in there that you've watched a YouTube video during the last week, then you're wrong, because you're watching one right now. I mean, seriously, this is no joke. Right this minute, this is a hangout, but a hangout is nothing more than a live streaming YouTube video. Let me say that again. It's nothing more. A hangout is nothing more than a live stream YouTube video. Because see, here's what happened. Back in 2008, YouTube was actually purchased by Google. Now, they were forward-thinking, and so think about it this way. That means that YouTube is in the family of Google. And who do you give loving to? You give a lot of loving to your friends and family. And this is just a part of why the SEO for Hangouts and the Hangout platform is so good. Now, Willie, did you see anybody over there saying that they've watched one during the last week?
Oh my goodness, yes ma'am. There's a lot of yeses and a lot of yeps and a lot of yes.
Okay, so here's what I want to ask now though. Recently, I'm going to share this with you. There was 1,000 people on a webinar, okay? And this question was asked, and a certain percentage said yes, they had watched a YouTube video during the last week. Now, I'm going to ask everybody watching right now, I want you to put in the chat box what percentage you think out of that 1,000 had watched a YouTube video in the last week. And I'm going to tell you this. Whoever gets it correct, I'm going to actually give you a copy of some training that I actually sell. I'm going to give that to you, okay? And it's 7 strategies that further help you brand and land on page 1 of Google. So if you get it right, Willie's going to put in my email, and then you're going to email me, and we're going to check it against the list. So, Willie, what are some of the people putting in there in terms of what percentage they think watched a YouTube video when asked on this webinar that I'm talking about?
Okay. I'm looking right now. I see one that said, "Uh-oh, a trick question." But let's see. I'm still getting yeses. There's a delay. They're still answering the first question.
Okay.
The
So
answer will come up here in a second.
okay.
Okay, I got a 95 right now. Someone said, Jeff Mize said 95.
Okay. Write that name down. Some other people, give us your, hey, there's no right or wrong. Just take a guess. Take a stab on at a webinar with 1,000 people. How many people you think actually said, I watched the YouTube video last week? Any other answers on there?
Sure. Bruce said 97%. I have a Suze Franco. She said 85%. Romero.
Y'all are close, but nobody's quite nailed it. Let me say this. It's somewhere in between of some of those. So give you just a couple more seconds, and then I'm going to tell you, okay?
Ben Smith, he said 100%. Spencer said 100%. Ken O'Brien said 83%.
Okay, we're gonna stop it right there for a second. Here's the percentage of those 1,000 on a webinar. It was 91% had actually watched a YouTube video. Now think about it. If they had been on a Hangout, all right, they would have actually been on that YouTube, okay? And in that moment, they would have been watching it since they were on the Hangout. And then it would have been 100%. But on a webinar, all people could do, because the webinars don't get SEO. That's the whole point that I'm trying to get at here. You see people doing these ringy-ding-ding calls all the time, and the webinars, and all of that's great. It has a place. But I'm going to tell you what, there is nothing like Google Hangout platform for helping you with your SEO. Okay? So now I'm going to ask another question. The second question they asked that audience of 1,000 was, how many of you, and I'm going to ask you this, how many of you uploaded a YouTube video last week? In other words, you made a little video and you got it on YouTube. How many of you actually did that? So look down there again, Willie, and let us know if anybody's saying that they did, and if you did, tell me what percentage you think actually did this out of that group of 1,000.
Hey, give me a second. There's a delay, so when the answers start coming in, I'll let you know.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, that's why when we first started, if y'all noticed, we started to hang out, and then there was a little bit of delay because Willie had his page up and needed to go over there and shut that off, because otherwise we'd be looping back through here and we'd drive everybody crazy. So anyway, check again, Willie, and let's see. I'm really trying to help y'all understand the power of the YouTube video Google Hangout platform before we go over and show you some results. Any answers there, Willie?
I'm looking right now. I see 50%.
50%.
Yeah, I see SEO for Hangouts. 28%. Some of the answers are still coming through from the other questions.
Okay, so let's just get right down to it, okay? Here was the percentage of people who had uploaded a YouTube video. It was 11% out of that 1,000. Now think about it. 91% had watched a YouTube video. 11% said they had uploaded one. That is a huge gap between the opportunity. There are 6 billion videos watched every day on YouTube. Do you really think there might be some opportunity for you? And this is what I want you to think about. And a lot of people are probably saying, I don't know. I mean, getting on this little Hangout thing, I'm scared. Do it anyway. I don't like how I look on the camera. Do it anyway. If you see an opportunity in what I just shared with you, you're going to go, how fast can I start uploading videos every day? And then once I show you what I'm going to show you when I screen share right here, you're going to be going, hey, Coach, sorry, I'd love to stay for the rest of it, but we got to get off here and start making some videos. I mean, seriously. Of course, I hope you will stick around because there's plenty of time to get your videos done. But see, here's another thing. Think about that. Only 11% said they had uploaded a YouTube video. And that's because for many people, you know, getting a camera, doing all this or that, that's challenging to them. And then they feel like they've got to upload it and they've got to edit it and they've got to do this and that. Guess what? This is live, people. There's nothing that's going to be edited on this. It's live. And as soon as we finish, this is what some of the people were asking the Facebook group today, like, well, how do we get the links? Folks, this is a live hangout. It is a YouTube video. Do you know what happens when we finish? It's a YouTube video evergreen. It's not going anywhere. So for the next week until Tuesday night, you will be able to actually see this hangout at any time if you want to go back and watch it. And then tonight, I'm actually going to show you how to take that hangout and create a special PLS page by, first of all, we want to get you in the share code so you have your page. But then if you copy that, you can actually copy the code into another page that you copy and make a page that you just keep forever and brand yourself with me and then send it out to people. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Willie, do you think that's cool and that'd be useful to people?
Very useful. They can figure out how to use that in email. It'd be phenomenal. Yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. No kidding. So this is what's just really great, I think, about the Hangout platform and what you can do with it. Okay, so let me go ahead. Now, this is where I got to put my glasses on. Hey, let me say this, folks. I got a typewriter, an electric one, mind you, for high school graduation. I'm really proud about that. But what am I saying that for? Things have changed a little bit. But if I can do this, you can do it too. You know, Willie and I are just like you. See, the last thing I want anybody to think is that they can't do this. In fact, I want people to look at this after I show you what I'm going to show you, and I want you to say, oh my gosh, that is so easy. If Coach B and Willie's doing it, good grief, we can too. See, we're not those kind of gurus who are going to say, look at us. Because here's the deal. Everybody starts somewhere. And Willie, I often think about how it is with golf. In my golf game, I used to go up to the first tee, and oh my Lord, Willie, I would just pray that I would hit the ball. And now, I know I'm going to hit the ball. I just don't know where it's going. So, you know, that's kind of fun when you think about it that way. I know where I started. I know I've been overwhelmed in this internet marketing as I've learned. But I also know that I've been like a dog on a bone. You know, I've persevered. And if I can do it with having had, you know, again, a typewriter, and I learned not even on an electric typewriter. So there's opportunity here for you. There's opportunity for you to brand yourself. And I don't want you to think that you have to brand yourself about internet marketing. That's not the point. The point is to find out what you're passionate about. I shared with Willie today. What was the example I gave you, Willie? Do you remember that?
Which one? Are you serious?
The one about loving fly fishing.
Oh yeah, that we can use our system to actually set up to where I can be a professional fly fisherman. I can use it to actually build up a list and do whatever I wanted to do. It's a matter of how I wanted to brand myself. It didn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I want people to be thinking about is, what am I passionate about? And how do you find out what you're passionate about? Well, let me say this. If you're doing tasks on a daily basis that suck the energy out of you, you need to change what you're doing. That may be outsourcing. That doesn't mean that you don't learn things. I'm not saying that. But as you go through this process, just make a note, like a list. Keep a list and put the things that give me energy and the things that don't give me energy. In other words, the things that feed you and the things that don't feed you. And as you make that list, you're going to kind of get an idea of what you potentially need to outsource and what you need to keep doing. Now, there's going to be things that I will start outsourcing more, but I tell you what, I just love creating. When I was a kid, I loved my science projects, you know, and I loved creating things, and I've always been that way. So, you know, creating pages and stuff like that, I'm just all over that. But that may not be you. So you have to look at how are you going to be a leader. Anybody can make money with Power Lead system, either by just using the done-for-you system or by creating your own. You have to decide, what do I want to do in my leadership, okay? But there's money to be made in all of it. You just have to figure out what you want to do. So let me go over here, get these glasses on now, and just do a little screen share.
Scotty, by the way, the average was 30% to that answer.
Okay. All right. So people thought that people were doing a little more than they were actually doing as far as uploading. So you know, when you just look at that, when you look at that gap, there's a whole lot of opportunity. Okay. I'm going to go to the screen share. Now, do you see that, Willie? You should see it.
I see it.
Okay. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, I want to show you, I was actually, I'm not signed in here when I got this. Like, when I do my videos and everything, and I'm going to show you this in a second, I actually set them up in such a way and using some keywords, and that helps me niche down. Okay, this is Hangout events on page 1 of Google's. In videos, there I am. There I am. There I am.
Wow.
Here again. Somebody else is there. That's how to delete a Google Hangout event. Hey, I don't want to get rid of them. I want to have them. That's somebody else. That's somebody else. Here's me, how to run Google Hangouts. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, you just need to get out there and make some of your videos. I know what I'm branding on. I'm branding on being a Google Hangout coach, a Google Hangout maven. I've done this consistently. I give CPR. Consistency produces results. I give that to my business every single day. I encourage you to do the same. Anything you do where you're taking consistent, good action. Now, it's not just any kind of practice. You know, people used to say, hey, practice makes perfect. No, it doesn't. Perfect practice makes perfect. So if you do the wrong kind of activities, it's not going to help you anything except make you into a bad habit, okay? So here's what I'm going to show you, though. I take something like that, the videos, and then I come over and I create a page. Like this page right here is a floating lead capture page. Now, the purpose of right now, tonight's Hangout, is not to take you through how to set up floating capture pages. It's not to give you all the ins and outs of Google Hangouts. You can find my videos and check on that, okay? But right here, I've actually done a capture box. Now, why would you do something like that? Well, you can put it over any box, and whatever your passion is, then you can create that floating box over the top of a website. What would you need that for? Well, let's say you're in network marketing, and your network marketing company does not have any kind of system with the replicated site. The last thing you want to do is send somebody to a replicated site that you have no way of capturing their information. So if you have one of those, create you some kind of floating capture page, and then that'll be over the top. So mine's just, and what did I do? I did screen shares. I pointed out that these things right here were ads, and that I was, what? Right there in the organic searches, right below the paid ads. Is that good or is that good, Willie?
That is great.
Yeah. So, you know, that's just an example right there. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to go to a few more, okay? This is just page 1, Google via Google Hangouts, okay? So you go down there, and there I am. There's one of them. You know, so got another one down there. Yeah, down there. So that one's mine too. So it doesn't matter. You set them up, and then the keywords in your niche now. In your niche. Now, see, this one's got 906,000 results, okay? So we're not trying to be on there with, you know, 8 million hits going on. That's not going to happen. But if you can learn to find out what you're passionate about, then you can use the SEO of Google Hangouts, okay, in and get ranked. Now, here's what I want to point out. I'm going to show you another example here. Right here, look at this. Introduce yourself with Hangouts. I taught 3 people how to do this, and they're all ranking up there. So, I mean, seriously, these little videos are just a couple of minutes long. And what did we do them with? We did them with the Google Hangout platform. So I want you to think about that right now. We're doing a training hangout, and we could have had up to 10 people in this training hangout at any one time. Now, you could play musical chairs, and we could have people coming on and off. As long as we didn't have more than 10 seats filled, that means myself plus 9 others, we could have a total of 10 participating like Willie and I are, and an unlimited number watching a live hangout. But guess what I can also do, and this is what I encourage you to do. Most computers today have a mic and a camera. Willie, you got one on your computer?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, cool. So what was it I told you you ought to do each week? How many videos?
I believe you said a video a week, or try to do a video a day, but at least a video a week. As long as I'm moving forward and producing. Yeah,
if you can do 1 a day. Okay, now we're not talking about a big hangout training. I'm talking about when you do 30-second videos, if you do a 15-second one, if you do a minute one, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. Find out what you're passionate about and make sure. John's saying something about it says that the hangout's down. Do you see it, Willie?
Uh-oh. I don't know what happened to it, Donnie. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Switched over.
Are you seeing it?
No, I'm not. I'm not seeing it.
It says it's still running for me.
I see that. Well, the chat's running, but I don't see the hangout.
Okay, let me. It still shows it to me. Okay, everybody, let me see here. I'm going to come off the screen share for a moment.
Nope, it's not there.
It still shows that it's live.
Here, let me refresh.
It's not showing up in the box?
Let me refresh.
Okay, we're trying to figure out what's going on. It's showing that it's on my end.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's there now. I don't know what happened.
Okay, yeah. I saw that John Skyped in. Hey, thanks, John, for drawing my attention to that. It was still going on our end, and you know, this is part of live TV hangouts. You know, so thanks, John, so much for giving us that heads up. It was showing on our end. It still shows live. So I came off the screen share because I wanted to see what was going on there. Okay, I'm going to go back over here.
I think it was still live. Others say that they see it.
Okay, all right. So maybe something just happened with John's for a moment. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. So that's like the introduce yourself, okay? Let me see here a second. Oh, I did have a video up. I'm going to go right over here. Now watch this. Let me see, I think this is the one. Okay, now watch this. You see this video right here, Willie, that I'm showing you right now?
Uh-huh.
That is that video that I did where I introduced myself. That's it right there, okay? And what I've done is I've actually done a twist on what we've got. I went into the source code after using this right here, and guess what I put? I put the source code for what you're looking at right now. And so if somebody asks me, I can just introduce myself to them. That's in that little video, and that's ranking on Google. So these are the things that you can do. It's really so simple. I mean, even if you look at lead lightning, okay? Look at all, it's like lead lightning for something else, right? But then mine's right on there with lead lightning. Look at that. Lead lightning pre-launch.
Yep.
Only one up there. You go over here. Social Profit Academy. I'm all over that. Sorry, Jeff, you're there. But anyway, um, what I'm talking about is I do videos, okay, whether it's Hangout trainings or whether it's short videos, but I use the Google Hangout platform. I no longer shoot my videos on a camera and upload them, because the fact of the matter is, I'm going to say this again, Google loves Hangouts, and you get better SEO when you're using that. So let me go over. I've taken some time, Willie, but I think it's important for people to really understand how powerful the Google Hangouts platform is. And if we don't really help you understand that by showing you some of these results, then people aren't going to do it. Would you do it, Willie, if you thought there was really no method to the madness?
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
I've seen too many results from what you've done, and you definitely have to do and use Google Hangout. I'm taking notes, so yes, definitely.
Well, good. Everybody be taking some notes here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go over here to my YouTube channel. Now you can see, here's what I want you to know. Most of the time people are teaching about doing Hangouts by going to your Gmail account and going over like this, okay? I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to go to Google Plus, and this is what they usually tell you, is to go down here to Hangouts and go over here, Hangouts on Air. Now we're talking about live ones, okay? We're not talking about a private Hangout, okay? A private Hangout that you do is not recorded, okay? It's not live. Hangouts on Air are live, and again, they are a streaming YouTube video that is then evergreen. So for people who are saying, oh, what if I miss it tonight? Oh, well, it's going to be in this exact page for the next week. Now, there's a reason that I chose to do Hangouts for my training. Willie, if we're showing people how they can professionally present their Hangouts inside of pages, I mean, let's think, if you're a network marketing person or an affiliate marketer or you're branding yourself or whatever, would it look better just to send somebody a regular Google Hangout, or would it look better if you sent them this nice, template? That would be really sharp and that would be professional. Would you agree, Willie?
Oh, I agree totally. You want to have the template that actually brands you and your business. So, different.
So most of the time what people are teaching is start a Hangout on Air. But here's the thing. If you start that, certainly you have to click the Start Broadcast button after you kind of set it up. But in that moment, that Hangout is literally already up. Well, here's what I want to show you that a lot of people don't know. Over here on your YouTube channel now, this is on the YouTube channel, you go into your video manager, go into your live events, and look where I set that one up right there beforehand. Now, I haven't set any more up because I wanted to explain to people about this, about the power behind it, okay? But think about this, Willie. Would it not help you if you went on Sunday and set up a Hangout for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to help you make sure that you got your one video a day? And then that would help you strategize and help you get organized. And let's say, Willie, you decided that that on Monday you were going to do it on topic A, and on Tuesday topic B, and then C, D, and E, 5 days for that week. Would that help you get organized?
Oh, yeah. You could spend, I'm looking at this now thinking for myself, I could spend a weekend and line out all my topics, set this up, and do a video per day, easily, because you have everything already lined up.
And so think about it. If you've already got those 5 set up for the week, and all you have to do is go click on Start Hangout on Air, okay? And then when you're ready to do it, you just start the broadcast. There's 2 different buttons here. One, start the Hangout on Air, actually brings us up. Willie and I gathered here 15 minutes ahead of time. And then right on the money, we started the Hangout, okay? Because I clicked the Start Broadcast button. And when we're finished, I'll click on the End button. And within 5 minutes, you'll be able to go back and watch that evergreen video. So I'm going to show you right now kind of how we do this, okay? And I'm going to share just a couple of strategies that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that I am going to do a training next week on LinkedIn and putting videos and how that can help you. In fact, before I do that, I'm going to take you right over here to LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you my LinkedIn page. Now, you may see that mine looks different from some people's. You know why? I've taken advantage of being able to customize this back here. Can you see that, Willie?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, you know, what am I doing again here? I'm branding myself. And you'll also see a lot of people up here, they'll have like 5, 6, 7 things they've mentioned up here. Part of the LinkedIn training next week, it needs to be 2, and then I'm going to tell you a lot more. But I want you just to notice here. Now, I want you to also notice down here, guess what this is? That is the video right now that anybody could click on and watch what we're doing right now. That's going to be my Tuesday night Hangouts, okay? And so that'll be a different video every time. But what if I want to say, gosh, I want to share this training with people, and I want to make sure they see it? Well, I'm going to go set up another page where I'm going to link in that training where it doesn't change each week. I'm going to place it right there. And pretty soon I'm going to have all kinds of videos. Now, Willie, do you think it would be more engaging on LinkedIn when people come to your page and they see videos to click on?
Definitely. Yeah, people want to see, and they feel like they get to know, like, and trust you. You know, when they see a video, especially if you're introducing yourself and then you're covering a different topic, they're going to engage. So that's awesome.
And here's the other thing I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to encourage you to do too. Start getting your testimonies from people. I'm going to ask Willie, hey, Willie, would you make a video about working with me in some way? 30 seconds, 45 seconds will do, and I'll plop that right in there. And then, you know, just various people that you work with. You're building your brand, you're building your credibility. I've got other videos down here. See, you notice this? The 5 tools? Yeah, people can go there. So what does this look like when people go here? I'm just going to click on it real quick. You see right there? Now, if I were to click right here right now, then the page we're on right now, the PLS page, would pop up and the Hangout would start playing. I don't want to do that right now, okay? So I'm going to come right back over here, though, and I'm going to put something about LinkedIn, okay? Get your videos on LinkedIn. Oops, better spell it right. All right, so here's what I do. I have 7 strategies that I use in addition to just, you know, making sure I use the Google Hangout platform. But I'm going to go over here. I'll tell you that in a second. So now I've got to go over here, and I've got to put in right here, the 25th. Okay. And it's going to be at, I put in the 6 p.m. because I put it in. I'm in, by the way, I'm in on the West Coast, Blaine, Washington. That's near the Canadian border, and if you wonder why in the heck am I speaking so funny then and speaking my Southern English as I told you I would, I hope you did bring your interpreters. The reason is I grew up in L.A. Don't I sound like I grew up in L.A., Willie?
Yes, you do.
You know what that is? You know what L.A. is, Willie?
What's L.A.? You told me. What is L.A.?
Atlanta.
Exactly.
That's why the Southern accent is there. Okay, so all we do is we go ahead and put this in, okay? Then we're going to do a description, all right? So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and this is just a tip. I make sure that I repeat exactly what my title line is 3 times in this description, 3 times. So I'm going to put it right there, and then I'll make sure that, you know, put the link where people can come to the Hangout. And then I'll just write whatever I'm going to write in here. I'm not going to do that right now. But again, I'm going to make sure that I put that in there 3 times. Okay? And then right here in my tags, I have some little tricks I do. But anyway, we won't go into the details of that right now. But these are just some little things that you can do. I'm going to keep it public, and I'm actually going to create that event. Okay, so do you see this is the refresh now, and the one we're on right now is not there because we had started it. Okay, does that make sense, Willie?
Yes.
Now, I'm just telling you, folks, so let's say that I want to go over here, and I go, well, oh, wait a minute, I've got to go back and change some things. That's no problem. Just click right there, and you're going to see that it says, please stand by. I mean, thinking about if you were having to do all these little things at the last moment, because right now, as soon as this Hangout finishes tonight, I can go get my code, and I can go back to the page that everybody's on right now, and I can update it, and I can put it in there, and let's say that I'll have all the details about it in there by in the morning, and then you go back there, and you can start promoting that for the next week, you know? I mean, if I were to put that in there. Now, I'm going to leave in there what we've got right now. So I'm just saying there's all kind of ways that we can do this. And if I go back over here, then I could actually go back where I was, finish my description, put in my tags, and all that kind of thing. So I just wanted to show you exactly what you can do here in terms of getting that set up. And again, I encourage you to get this set up. Make your event, your live event, in advance. Makes it so much easier than going over and doing it the old way. And I've got different videos on doing it both ways. It's no big deal. But I wanted to share with you how you can do this. Now, listen, I'm going to go back over here now, because if somebody is on here tonight and they don't know how to use the share code, the share code right for this is this right here, okay? Now, I've already given that to people. If you are going to go to your page and you have not hooked this up yet, all you have to do is take that share code that I have provided for you. Now, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to, you know, I've already created it. But you would just copy that in there, and then you would click submit, okay? Now, Willie, have you got your back office up?
I could bring it up.
Why don't you bring it up real quick, and we're going to have you screen share because I want them to see where it shows up for you. It's not going to show up for me because I'm the one who created it, okay? But let me just say that's going to be your first step. Now, where do you find that? You go under Account, you go to My Sharing Codes, you go and you put that code right in there and you click Submit. Now, I'm going to go back over to Willie because I want him to show you exactly where that is. Okay, so Willie, I'm going to come off screen share right here. Come on up, screen share.
It's got a lag.
Okay, there I am again. Okay, Willie, I'm going over to you. I want you to screen share.
Okay.
And we're going to see in your back office exactly where you've got it set up. All right, good job.
There.
You're going to go to
Account.
Okay, we've already showed them that part, so we don't need to go there. Just click on Websites.
Websites.
Manage Websites. Yep, Manage Websites. There you go. We're going to show them where to find it first. Okay, you see the shared choices right there?
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, I think 3, 4 shared choices. I'm looking. Okay, here they are.
Okay, the one right there is the Tuesday night one. Okay.
Right.
So how would somebody actually attach this? Well, here's what you have to do first. You need to go and set up a subdomain. So Willie, go grab a subdomain. Let's show them how to do it. Now, see, Willie's doing great. So I think it's important that everybody know you can do this too. Watch Willie do it. And just put this one, testing for Hangout. Okay. And it doesn't matter. He's just creating a subdomain. And let me say this right now. he's putting that in. That's normally where the www is. Okay, so this creates a subdomain. He's going to click on existing web pages. And he's going to go down there and he's going to grab that one. And this is what you will do if you have not set up your page for our Tuesday night hangout. And you're going to save that. And that's all there is to it. So just click on that link, Willie. Look at that right there. Now turn it off because it's going to start looping through again.
Okay.
So do you see how quickly he was able to set that up? I mean, that's absolutely amazing, I think. How quickly you will do if you have not set up. Now, this is the value of the share code, though. If you want to be a leader out there and you want to bring in a team of people, I promise you, put together a sales funnel for whatever opportunity you have, or let's say that you've got, you want to do some local business, okay? Imagine going to a real estate office and being able to set up pages for their whole set of real estate brokers. There's all kinds of things you can do if you get on your creative hat and make sure that you provide value for people. That's what it's all about. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to take on that kind of role. It depends on what you want to do. So that right there, now, I'm going to now show you what we can do to get this hangout on your own page, because let's face it, you're going to want to use this training maybe in another way. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say that every Tuesday you set up your page just like we showed you with the share code. Now, because all you did, I call this like hooking the wagon to the vehicle, okay? The vehicle, okay, is that subdomain that Willie just created. What you hook to that subdomain is the trailer behind it, okay? And so that trailer behind the vehicle became that page that offers you the opportunity every Tuesday night to hook into these trainings, okay? And that will automatically update. And those of you who have already created your page, if people are sharing on your page, hey, listen, if you're here and we're invited by somebody, welcome. It's great to have you. And you can also, if you think what we've got going is really sweet, well, just click on that button that says 7-day free trial. And if you are not on the page with the person who invited you, make sure they get you their page. Because otherwise, if you're on my page, you would get a free trial with me, and we don't want that to happen if somebody else invited you. But this is the value of setting up your own page, okay? Every Tuesday night, a different training. Next week, going to be LinkedIn training, all right? So let's do this.
One thing to touch on, Dottie, is what you've walked me through is sending it via email, setting it up beforehand, and that's very important. I think it's important to send it out to your list, inviting people to come on Tuesday night.
Absolutely. Say that again, Willie.
That it's important to go through the system, and it's really easy with the system to set up in your contact manager and send an email out to your list with that link, so people can actually go back and look at look at the professional template, but actually watch the hangout from there.
Yeah,
the chatter.
That's a great reminder, Willie. And obviously, we can't cover every single thing tonight. Again, but that's such a great reminder, because that's what you've got to do. What do you do once you have that link that you create? Well, you can put it out on what? LinkedIn. You can get it out on Facebook groups. You can get it out on Twitter. You can get it out on Pinterest. I mean, people are starving for good content. And there's no better way to create content than with little short videos, I'm telling you. Because talk about your blog. Would you rather write or just speak something? If you want to write, that's fine. You can do a combo. But I'm telling you, once you have your videos, you're going to want to put that video via the Google Hangout platform and add that to your blog. It's going to get you better SEO. Because, again, SEO Google Hangout platform, all on your blog. That gets you better than just writing. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the statistics prove it. So get busy and start doing that, okay? So let me go back over here. I'm going to screen share because I want to show you how you can actually brand yourself with me. And I just say, use me. I mean, you know, just use me all you want. So here's the way it's going to look like. I'm going to go show it to you first. Oh, that's not the one I was looking for. I'll have to go back here. Sorry about that. Let me just go back over here. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Right here, I'm going to go to Web Pages, and I'm going to show it to you first, okay? What I did, now let me just state this real clearly. What you want to do is go into your back office, okay, where it says Manage Websites, right here. And you're going to want to take the one with the share code. Now, I don't have that, okay? But let's just pretend right here. Willie, I may have you go back in a minute. Hopefully this will make sense, but I don't have my own one that I did the share code with. But if you take the one that Willie did, Willie, I'm going to have you do this in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and show them what it looks like, but I do want them to see specifically what this will be like. So I'm going to go to the web page that I've already done this for to show it what it looks like. Here's what it'll look like, okay? Wrong one. Sorry about that. Let me go back here. I don't think I've actually got the one that I want to show you. So, Willie, we did yours. That's right. Let's take you and actually set that up with you. So if you'll go back to screen share, we're going to show people how to copy that one that has the share code and then create something different, okay? So if you can, let me just go off screen share here. Get it off there. Okay. So you go ahead and screen share again, Willie, and I'm going to walk you through that.
Sure.
So what we're going to do, this time we don't need to go and set up the subdomain first. And here's why. When you're just going to hook it up, you need to go ahead and do that first for your main Tuesday night page. But right now, we're going to make a copy of that. And when we make a copy of that, it's going to let us choose our subdomain inside of there. So, Willie, what I want you to do is go to the Manage the Websites. I think that's what you're on right now. And I want you to click on Copy. Make a copy. It's right above the 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that right there? That's correct. And then I want you to scroll down, and I want you to choose to copy the one that we've created the share code for. So copy that.
This one right here, that what's already picked?
Yeah. Yes, that's the one. You're going to copy that page and save it. Okay, now, you see right there up at the top, okay, it's got a title. Well, you could call this Hangout and SEO, okay? In other words, you could just name it that. That way you would know it was the Hangout and SEO, SEO ranking for Hangouts or something like that. However you want to word it. This is just so you can find it. So you see right there in step 2 where you select a domain. That's all you're going to do is click on that third button down, Willie, and just choose anything you want. You can put SEO Hangouts. And we're not going to go through how you set up everything else right now. I want to just go down and show you. You do always want to put in description and keywords just as a reminder. So click Save that, Willie. Just go down to the bottom and save that. Now, we're not going to change the background right now. We're just going to go over there to edit the text. Okay, So let's say that, now, this is not going to be the Tuesday night hangout. You're creating your own page now so that you can brand yourself and save some information. So instead of Coach B's PLS Gold Nuggets, let's call that Coach, just put Coach B and Willie G's, and we'll put Gold Nuggets on that second line. So just put Coach B's and Willie G's. And then where it says live on Tuesdays, it's not going to be live on Tuesdays. So where it says live on Tuesday, just take that away and put Gold Nuggets. And you can make that bigger if you want or whatever. Now scroll down to that next line. We're going to take off the 18th, November 18th, and the arrows, but we're going to leave the rest of it. And so when you have this, you're going to have your own page. So let's just go down there and save that, Willie. And so what you're going to do is, the minute you do this, and do it before next week, you're going to have this training inside your own page branded with me. So you can put, if it's Coach Sally or Harold or whoever, just leave it in there and use me. It's kind of like M.A. talked about on his hangout on his webinar last Thursday. That was and let me send a big shout out to Michelangelo. That was a great tip about using this page. In fact, I thought it was so cool that I decided to go take my regular Tuesday night hangout page and make a new one and just put it inside of here, and then encourage you all by having you a share code to go out there so that we can help grow your business, because that's really what it's about. I want to give you tools that will help you grow your business. So whether you're already in Power Lead System or you're just checking it out, we want you to see what we're doing and how you can start that free trial. So that start the free trial, that's still hooked into you, Willie. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's very cool. I know that.
So now forever you have this page. So let's say next week you want to grab the one for LinkedIn. Well, all you do is you go back, and after next week's hangout is over, you'll simply make a copy of that and grab it. You know what I'm saying? And just change the information and save it as your own page. As long as you keep the one with the share code without copying it. Now, let me just be clear. Without copying it, then the hangout's going to show up automatically every Tuesday night. All right? But the minute you copy it, you can put whatever you want in there. Whether it's my training, your training, whatever you want to do. But if you're trying to get our trainings on Tuesday nights archived. Now, I do have an archived page, but you know what? If I just send you to archives, that doesn't really help you. Does that make sense, Willie? That by doing it this way, you're really creating something that can be helpful to you in growing your business. So let's go ahead and get you off screen share, Willie. Let me do this, Willie. Thank you so much, Willie. That was fantastic.
I appreciate it. I've learned so much. I'm going to go back and watch this again. So I really enjoy doing these trainings. They're fantastic.
Well, listen, we're getting close to kind of finishing up. Again, I just want to reiterate that the purpose of tonight was to really establish the power behind the Google Hangouts platform, whether doing training or whether doing just short videos. Use it. Use it, use it, use it. Use it multiple times a week to help brand you, and I say brand and land on page 1 of Google in your niche. That's just the greatest, easiest way to do it. So here's what I want to do right now. If we've got anybody who wants, hey, Willie, go ahead and take the link up there, the participation link. We're going to throw the participation link down there in the chat box. Now, I don't want you to do this if you've never been on a Hangout, because that can get really confusing. But if you've ever been on a Hangout before and you would like to come on the Hangout live with Willie and myself right now, I want you to come on and ask any question about anything that's not clear about tonight, or about a Google Hangout, those kind of things. Come on and ask your question. And also, Willie, after you do that, if you see any questions in the question box below, please go ahead and let me know what those are, because we want to take just a few minutes here at the end and answer any questions that you might have. So if the comments kind of scroll down, so if you asked one earlier, we usually like to hold the questions to the end. If you asked one earlier, why don't you just re-put that question back down in the chat box, and we'll see if we can't answer it. And also, again, if anybody wants to pop on, all you have to do is take that link. Did you already get it down there, Willie?
Yes, they have the
that link is down there, and just pop on if you want to. Click on that link and jump on the Hangout. Please make sure that you have a camera and a mic if you're going to jump on with us, so that we'd be able to hear anything that you have to ask us very, very quick. If you don't, that's okay. We're going to be covering all kinds of things in the future. Right here, I've got what's called a lower third banner, and as you can see, it says I love what I do, because I do. I absolutely love what I do. And so on Google, how does this get in here? Well, that gets in there because in my Google Plus account, I have that instead of my picture, okay? And so there's a whole process, and we'll go through and show you this one day too, is how to set up this. But this right here that Willie and I have done, this is not a custom banner. I'm going to turn this one off real quick. I'll see if I can bring up one of my, yeah, there's one of my custom banners. Here's another custom banner. Here's another custom banner. So, there's a whole way to create these custom banners for your Hangouts, and I would recommend that if you're going to be doing training, or you have a company, that you go and utilize those. I'm going to go right back over here. So you see that there's nothing there right now. I'll just turn it back on, and there it pops up again. So Willie, we got any questions down there? Anybody?
I'm sitting here giggling, looking at some of these questions. The last one that I read said, it's from Kate. It says, I'm in an overwhelmed state. What do you do? What do you do when you get there? You have an answer for that one? That sounds
absolutely, Kate. You just cry. I told Willie, I don't care if you're a guy or a gal. Just shed some tears. It releases, and go. Put your fingers together. Get in the yoga seating or whatever pose, yoga pose, and go.
Here, let me speak to that. Yeah, because I've been there recently. And what you do is, first of all, you have to believe and know that this system works, and it does. If you watch and have seen anything that Dottie has produced, you'll know that this system is valid and it works. So that's a given. What you've got to do is overcome yourself. You've got to overcome limiting yourself, limiting your abilities. You've got to overcome all those little negative voices that you hear in your head, and you just take it a step at a time. That's the main thing you have to do. Here, let me speak to that. Yeah, because I've been there.
Hey, look, I think we got somebody on here. Bruce, how are you? Welcome. Hey, Willie, I do want to acknowledge you for that. That's great. Right there.
And have seen anything that Dottie has produced.
Hey, Willie, I think we got one of your Hangouts going somewhere.
What you got? Yeah, I think it's on Bruce's end.
Maybe Bruce, it may be yours.
Bruce.
Hi guys, it's Bruce.
Hey Bruce, can you turn off the one where on your page?
And you just take it a step.
Which?
That's the main thing you have to do.
Yeah, because what's happening right now is you come on the Hangout, and then you still got your page up, and it's moving back through there. So you just got to stop it. Just go to that page and click. Uh-oh, I think he clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah, he clicked the wrong thing. Been there and done that. Bruce,
that's okay. Bruce will be back. But just for those of you who are trying to figure out what was happening just then, when we're in the Hangout right here, all right, that's different from the page that you're seeing it. So when Willie has to go over there and check the messages, he had to make sure that he had it turned off, because otherwise that Hangout, it's a second or so delay, that you would hear that looping back through our microphones here. So we'll wait for Bruce to get back on. But Willie, I do want to acknowledge you for that. So was it Kate who was asking the question?
Yes, ma'am. Her name was Kate.
Kate, let me just say this to you. I understand. I'm not kidding you. And everybody gets scared. Do you know that even before the Hangout tonight, I get those little butterflies and how's this going to go? But that's okay. I mean, I've been a coach for a long time, and this much I know. You don't want to be so overwhelmed that I couldn't get on the Hangout tonight and was laying down there on the floor, and Willie, calling me going, "Where are you, Coach B?" "Oh, I'm overwhelmed, But I have to be a little bit on the edge. It's like a top athlete, When it's game time, you got to show up, and you got to be ready, and a little tension is good because that means, you're going to be in the game. You're going to be present to the moment. And, it's really interesting. We do this because we want to have our own business, okay, in some form or fashion. And I want to acknowledge all the people out there who have jobs and like their jobs. I think that's a great thing because a lot of people don't. If you're one of those, man, keep going. And you know what? I mean, I want my surgeon to be able to do surgery, right? Yeah, so that's good. A lot of people need to be in jobs, but if you're not interested in having that job anymore, you're going to have to learn some skills. You're going to have to get through the overwhelm. And here's what I've found. Willie, I don't know about you, but yes, we all love to create income. But there's 3 things that I have found personally in working with people, and you got to understand I've been coaching a long time. Relationship coaching, just so you know, my doctorate works in human sexuality, so I got a wide range of experiences here. But my experience is that, number 1, all of us want to love, and we want to be loved, and we want to make a difference. And we also want to be able to have financial freedom, financial wealth that by our own definition is free and flexible. But I've never talked to anybody who said, you know what, if I can just have money, I'll give up the love. I'll give up making a difference. I'll give up being loved. Never met anybody like that. But I don't think it's exclusive of one another. I think we can help people create financial freedom. And the best way I say is you're going to have to move through that. I'll do a whole training one night on the law of thermodynamics and a lot of different things about how you move chaos, because most people encounter chaos and they go back to where they're comfortable. The best thing I can say, Kate, is you must learn to be comfortable with your discomfort. Okay? That sounds crazy. It's like an oxymoron. But you have to become comfortable with your discomfort. Otherwise, you will just leave the discomfort. You will run screaming out of the room thinking that you cannot do it. You can do it, but you'll have to persevere. And reach out to me. If I can help you in any way, I'll be glad to do that. Any other questions there? I don't know if Bruce is coming back or not, and we want to wind this up if nobody else is going to come on. Or other questions, Willie, can you let me know?
I'm looking right now for asking about if this is recorded. They missed that part of the Hangout.
Yeah.
Evergreen, so they can always find it. I don't think Bruce is coming back. Bruce said he wasn't sure what he was doing, but he's pretty new at this. He wanted to give it a shot. So we applaud you, Bruce, for trying.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me say this too. We're going to have different people on with Willie and myself, Coach B and Willie G, every Tuesday night. But we invite people who are interested in participating in some of the Hangouts to come on. And here's what I want to say before we end. We're going to be doing a LinkedIn training, how Power Lead System fits in with that, what you can do, how you can structure your whole LinkedIn profile to get noticed more. That's the first thing. You got to clean it up, make it look presentable as best you can. It's kind of like, you want to look good. What do you have to wear for a Hangout? Well, you don't have to, dress to the nines. I mean, I'm sitting here kind of like the weatherman on TV. What do I mean? I got sweatpants on there. But we're interested. We got it happening again, Bruce.
Can I do it again?
That's what I want to say before we end. Yeah, you've got to go over to the Power Lead System, your page, and stop that. You know what? Do this. I'm going to give my email real quick. If you will put this email in the chat box there for me, Willie,
Okay.
iconnectengage@gmail.com. The reason I'm giving you that too is because, Bruce, contact me. I'll get you on a private hangout and get this straightened out for you. The other thing is, I'm going to take 4 people next week, 4 people, and I'm going to look at your LinkedIn profile if you want me to. And I'm going to give you some help and some tips on things that'll help search-wise get you found. I'm going to show you what I've done. So 4 people. So if you email me at iconnectengage@gmail and tell me, give me your LinkedIn profile and tell me why you would like to have your LinkedIn profile reviewed, then I will do that. Okay, so just let me know. Anything else here? Any other questions that you can see down there? I tell you what I will do. I will go back when I end this, and I will see what questions are down there, and I will answer them, etc. So know that I will do that. So as we end here, I'd like to thank everybody. Willie G, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being on here.
Well, thank you. Let me get this out here because I have to applaud her for putting this out. Susanna Franco, she says, I've been wanting to do a live hangout for quite some time now, and she's so excited, just from seeing us. So that encourages me too. But I just had to let
Who is that said that?
Her name is Suze. Oh, I just lost it. Hold on. Susanna or Suzanne Franco.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
thank you
very
so
awesome.
much for saying that. I saw Jeff Walker's product launch formula video. It was incredible. And one of the things he was talking about was really, even in a product launch he was talking about, is to do it. People get sort of stuck and they don't get anything out there. They just get it so darn perfect. The second phase is you got to get feedback on stuff. So what I'm saying is, if anybody will send me their little hangout they do, I'm going to challenge you. Before next week, do a hangout introducing yourself. Seriously. Just use that platform to introduce yourself. 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes max, okay? And then create you a page inside PLS. And when people friend you on Facebook or whatever, thank them, and then go send them a private message. Don't be putting stuff on their wall, like that. But once they've asked for your friendship, accept it, and then go back to a private message and send your link, okay, where you're just introducing yourself. It's so simple, so easy to do. So take that as your challenge. You don't have to even start with doing a video a day. Just say, I'm going to do one. And what I'm going to do in that video is I'm going to introduce myself. That's it. So wherever you are is okay, all right? Everybody starts somewhere, and don't ever forget that, and you are just as good as any of the top gurus wherever they are in the world today, because I will share this much with you as we end. When I started 6 years ago, I knew more than some people, and I knew less than some people. And guess what? 6 years later, the same's true. I mean, I still know more than some people, but less than others. So that's just the nature of how this works. I really appreciate you all being on here tonight and watching what we're doing, sharing some information, and I will see you next week on the Hangout. This is Coach B and Willie G with the Gold Nuggets for Power Lead System, and next week it's on to LinkedIn and how that can work for you. Okay, Willie, thanks again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.